Is Booking.com a Booking.scam? Is your summer break putting you at risk of fraud? I'm C, and this is the podcast that keeps you safe from scams, hacks, and frauds. Today, we're talking about travel booking fraud and online safety. Dr. Lee Jones, a tropical medicine academic at the University of Oxford, is excited. She's getting married, and this wedding is going to be something special. She lives in Vietnam, but rather than return home to Scotland for her wedding, she and her friends and family will be celebrating in Vietnam. As with any destination wedding, hotel bookings will be essential. So she turned to one of the world's largest online booking sites, Booking.com. Perhaps she was tempted by the ad that promises that you'll be left feeling Booking.yeah. On the site, she found the Glenwood Suites in Ho Chi Minh City, offering apartment-style accommodation with family rooms and a hot tub. You may also know the city by its older name, Saigon. Not long after her booking, she started receiving messages from the hotel. The first message advised there was a problem with the security check on her bank card and that a further verification procedure was required. Lee was advised not to worry. Although the process would involve a transaction on the card, it would promptly be refunded, the message stated. However, Lee had to act quickly, as the message threatened to cancel her booking if it was not completed within the next 24 hours. To Lee, the link appeared legitimate. There were no typos or other giveaways, and the message had originated from the Booking.com messaging system. So keen to ensure her booking wasn't cancelled, she clicked the link and £1,000 was taken from her bank account. It was at this point Lee realised that she'd been duped, and she now faced a battle to get her money back. The fraud problem with Booking.com has been ongoing for several years. If you ask Booking.com, they'll tell you that you should never share personal details with hotels directly and only make payments via their platform. But that's exactly what Lee thought she was doing when she clicked on a link in Booking.com's messaging app. Action Fraud, the UK's National Fraud and Cybercrime Reporting Centre, reported that between June 2023 and September 2024, it received 532 reports from individuals who had been the victims of scams involving Booking.com. These figures are just for UK residents in a single year. The global numbers of scam victims must be staggering. Those 532 scam victims collectively incurred losses of about £370,000. Lee was a victim of this scam in 2023. So you'd think something would have been done by now. Yet in April 2025, Laura, an architect in Paris, booked into the Dawson Hostel in Dublin and received a message again in Booking.com's messaging app, asking her to click a link within the next 24 hours to confirm her reservation. Now, Laura thought the message she got was weird, so she called the hostel directly and they asked her to forward the email to them. Laura then received a reply in the Booking.com app saying that they took responsibility for the message. Taking this as confirmation, she clicked the link, and with that click, she was in the fraudster's clutches. Once it became clear the fraudster's link had nothing to do with the hostel, she was then caught between the hostel and Booking.com arguing over who was responsible for the fraud. Both the hostel and Booking.com insist there is no evidence that their systems were breached and blame the other for the hack. Meanwhile, Laura had to involve her bank's fraud team to force Booking.com to refund the money she'd lost in this scam. Balaram Thapa, a hotelier in Kathmandu, Nepal, tried to report to Booking.com that one of his guests had fallen victim to this scam, but reports the site merely advised him to change his password. As a customer service measure, he offered his guests a 50% discount on their stay to try and ease some of the pain, but that came out of his pocket. As far as Balaram is aware, Booking.com offered no compensation. It's clear that if Booking.com is taking these scams seriously, whatever measures they're taking to stop this fraud aren't working. The same scam continues to occur more than 2 years after the first media reports of these scams appeared. Even if we take Booking.com at their word that their systems haven't been breached and it's just a coincidence that hundreds of their accommodation partners around the world have been hacked, Booking.com is not doing enough to stop these hackers from entering their site with stolen credentials. They can't be monitoring their messaging system appropriately if these messages still get sent. The Dawson Hostel uses two-factor authentication to secure its Booking.com account. Even if its systems were hacked, it would still be challenging for hackers to send these messages without an additional problem. Before proceeding, it's worth noting that although Booking.com appears to be the primary target for this type of scam, it's by no means the only site affected. So don't assume that you're safe just because you chose a different site to book through. The same advice applies. Booking.com's advice on only taking payments on their platform is good, but it needs expansion. The only time you should need to give the hotel your card details directly is when you check in for the security deposit and the incidental hold, if your hotel is doing that. Or if you've chosen to pay the balance at the hotel, the room payment. If you're being asked to make an additional online payment, even one that will supposedly be immediately refunded, you should take this as a strong indication of a scam. If you are going to use a site to book accommodation that is not the hotel's own site, do not click on any link sent to you through that site's messaging system. If you receive a message requesting details or payment, contact the hotel or booking site directly to confirm that this request is genuine. You may be tempted to skip online travel sites altogether, and there are some good reasons to consider this. Experts in the Ask Hotel subreddit advise booking directly with hotels whenever possible. Not only does it remove a link in the chain of data sharing, but if your hotel is oversold or rooms have to be unexpectedly taken out of commission for maintenance, it's those who book directly with the hotel that get priority and perhaps an upgrade. Those who booked elsewhere will be directed back to the website from which they made their booking. The hotel may be able to match cheaper prices if you've seen them on a third-party site. Just give them a call and ask. However, care must be taken to ensure that you're actually communicating with a genuine hotel and the hotel itself is legitimate. Alternatively, licensed travel agents will handle booking verified hotels, arrange all the payments, and deal with any onward issues if something goes wrong for you. If you're in the UK, using a travel agent also includes extra protection when booking a qualifying package holiday against operators going out of business or other potential issues. If you think you've fallen for a scam like this, follow Laura's example and report it to your bank immediately. Different countries have different rules regarding what banks must do, but if there is any chance of recovering your funds, they'll be the ones able to attempt it. Lastly, be aware of false urgency. False urgency is a technique not just used by scammers, but by salespeople to make you feel pressured to act quickly and without fully thinking it through. Techniques include the fake time clock placed on these bookings, threats of price increases if you don't book soon, or warnings that other people are viewing and booking similar deals. As a general rule, the more you feel pressured, the more you should slow things down, and if someone is making you feel uncomfortable, walk away. With these tips, we hope you'll have a great summer. I've been C, and this has been Scams, Hacks and Frauds, the podcast that keeps you safe from scams, hacks and frauds. If you've been the victim of a scam, want to view a transcript, or catch up on previous episodes, please visit us at scamshacksandfrauds.com. And please do share this with everyone you know so they can stay safe too. Also remember to like and subscribe. This podcast is available to reuse for free under the Creative Commons with Attribution Share Alike license. The music is not included in this license. For more information on the Creative Commons license, please visit creativecommons.org.